yeah, so the guys from whatever, I was in the bathroom, these guys from whatever came in, and they were like, so, how about Boxcar? And the other guy goes, and that was it.
Welcome, everyone, to This Was the Scene, the podcast that takes a look back at the late 90s, early 2000s New Jersey punk rock scene. I am your host, Mike Doyle. Boxcar was a pop-punk band based out of South Jersey. Yes, it was South Jersey. If you're in Bordentown or Trenton, that area, you are in South Jersey. So they were based out of South Jersey. Their members included Derek, Newman, and Jay Battle, who was later replaced by Brendan, a.k.a. Bnuts. Their sound was a nice mixture of Lifetime, Digger, Jawbreaker, and The Cure, in my opinion. I loved hanging out with these guys back in the day. They were just solid dudes. They'd show up to shows and be drinking before, during, and after their set, and were a lot of fun to always hang out with afterwards. A lot of the bands who were all friends, we'd all congregate somewhere afterwards, and someone's house or wherever, and keep the party going. And they were always just a blast. Never any drama. Wrote really great fucking songs, super catchy songs, really good harmonies, and just solid dude. So I reached out to Newman, and he suggested getting Brendan on the phone, a.k.a. Bnuts, and the following conversation ensued. So in this interview, we talk about where they got the name of the band, when did Newman start actually playing his bass upside down, how Bnuts and Chris jammed years before being in Boxcar and never even knowing each other, the comps that were always being put out back in the day, which Lifetime album is the best one, the show with Donuts and Glory, how Newman wrote GOT, or G-O-T, after their Pipeline show, what their songs were actually about, how a Digger song inspired one of their best songs, again in my opinion, what it was like to record with Steve Evans, their Descendants cover show on Black Friday this year, where did they want the band to actually go, have they kept up with their punk rock ethics, and more. Before we begin, thank you again to all the people who have given donations to the podcast. If you'd like to as well, just go to thiswasthescene.com and send whatever you'd like. It basically just helps me with the $20 a month to keep this thing live. Also, mark your calendars for July 21st at Debonair Music Hall in Teaneck, New Jersey, where my old band Lanemeyer will be playing a reunion show with our old buddies Humble Beginnings and our special guest, which has been announced, Jettison. The reason for the show is that it's been 20 years since both us and Humble put out our first albums, and we thought it would be great to get together and play a show. This will be the fucking last time we do this. We've played a couple of reunion shows, and I've definitely stated on stage that this was going to be it, but due to family obligations and all that, and jobs and all this bullshit, and the fact that me and Sean don't even live in New Jersey anymore, this is gonna fucking be it. So definitely mark your calendars, definitely show up, and also Jettison is set to play some LWL songs, which will be super badass. Pre-sale for the tickets is $15, and then it's $20 at the door. We've already sold a ton, so make sure you get in on the action before it sells out. And you can find tickets at thiswasthescene.com. There'll be a green button that says click here to purchase tickets, so just go click on that. It'll take you right to the page where you can select how many you want, and then you can just buy them or whatever. Or you can also find the link in the show notes. Feel free to subscribe, leave a review, and share this with anyone who would love some nostalgia. With that said, let's get started. Boxcar boys, Newman and Brendan, a.k.a. Bnuts. Before we start, I'm actually going to open a beer because I haven't done this with any interview, but because it's you guys,
we got two open right here.
Open another one.
well, cheers. Yeah, I'm taking a swig of that. I'm gonna slowly go through it because I want to be very level-headed with this. But, dude, thanks for making the time. The two of you, this is the first time, as I mentioned to you guys before I hit record, this is the first time I had two people on at the same time. So this is a landmark occasion.
All right. No problem.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah, man. What are you guys doing right now? Where are you at?
We're at my house down South Jersey, or Central, whatever you want to call it.
We're in Jersey.
Bordentown.
Ah, still in Bordentown.
Yeah, I moved back. I went from Bordentown to New Brunswick to Harrison, and then I moved back down here, or then Lyndhurst or whatever, and then moved back down here about 12 years ago.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And Derek's living right down the street, and Brendan's not far away in Trenton, so we're all pretty close.
Oh, that's awesome. So you guys all still see each other? I mean, obviously you two.
Yeah, we do all the time. Don't see Derek a whole lot.
He's got two kids now, right?
Yes, yeah.
I think he's got several. I think he's got 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Two. Not 3, just 2. Sorry.
Several.
I was right. All right, well, let's start this shit. I got a ton of questions that I'm going to ask you. I went more in depth with this one. I've been listening to the other podcasts. I'm like, I think I could change these questions up a little bit. But so let's start off. So how did you guys get involved in the punk rock? Let's go back to the day. Oh, I like that sound.
All right. Well, we used to have a place around us called City Gardens that has been no more for the last about 20 years or so. So we would go there all the time for shows. I first started going to shows. My first show was the Ramones and the Fiends, and it was in 1988.
Okay.
Wow. Nice one.
But I saw some other shows there before that, but they weren't punk shows or anything. But I always knew about a lot of like obscure bands, not necessarily obscure, but bands that maybe never went out of the state.
Okay.
How about you, Brendan?
My first official show was I was 13, and it was the Dead Milkmen.
Oh my God.
With a band called Nixon's Head and the Electric Love Muffin, and it was in Philadelphia. It was at Trocadero in Philadelphia, and I didn't actually understand what I was watching at the time, but my big brother took me, so I was like, cool, and that was pretty much it from that. I was a metal kid in high school, though.
Oh yeah.
Still am, but yeah, it was basically that show, and then like Chris said, City Gardens. I spent every chance I could get going to see shows, matinee shows, all ages shows, whenever I could go.
Missed a chance to see Nirvana at City Gardens.
So did I.
Oh my God.
I really blew that one off, and I should have. Yeah. And I always missed seeing Soundgarden there too. Like they would play there because I like Soundgarden and stuff in high school.
Oh yeah. Was
Probably
this like
like
bad?
nine-
Was this Bad Motorfinger Soundgarden, or was this?
No,
Loud Love. Loud
yeah,
Love.
yeah.
Oh Jesus
Phenomenal
Christ.
record. Their first major label release on A&M.
Yeah.
My God, we're just gonna go down this path and just talk about all the knowledge you guys have.
Music nerds.
So kind of let's start kind of diving into like just the punk scene in general, because Brendan, you're metalhead and you're going to like Dead Milkmen, and Newman, you're seeing like the Ramones. So you guys obviously were going to shows, but they were in clubs. So like, how did that morph into going to local shows and really and focusing it on Jersey?
I didn't really get into that until I met these guys in Boxcar. That's how I got into that, the microcosm scene of like the basement shows and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Those guys brought me into that, actually.
Okay.
And I used to go to basement shows in New Brunswick. I used to go with Derek in like 94, 95, where I think, what was it? Like Doc Hopper was there. Handy Street, yeah. But a lot of cool shows that were there, like Bouncing Souls, when it was like really like in the basement of somebody's basement, which is really cool.
Was it always a random basement, or was it the same basement every time?
It was the same basement. It was called Handy Street. A lot
23
of people.
Handy Street, right?
Is that what it was?
23.
Yeah.
I think it was 23. There's a bunch of songs about it.
Yeah, like Lifetime. Some guys from Lifetime lived there.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, Joe from Manchineal. I think it was one of his bands. And then there's a bunch of other people that live there. I can't think of them right now. I'm sorry.
You failed me. You failed everyone listening.
Yeah, it's hard.
There's way more people listening now, so you're really no pressure. So okay, tell me about like the formation of Boxcar. Like I know because Brendan, you came in later on because you guys had an initial drummer. You had a different drummer originally, and you guys were always a 3-piece. But how did this all come together?
There were 2 drummers before Brendan, I think.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, there's definitely. Well, it started with Jay Boxcar, who went to Inspector 7 and Hub City Stompers.
Yes.
And some other bands, and then he went to. No, it wasn't. It was him and Derek. They were playing like coffee houses in Mount Holly in South Jersey. Mm-hmm. And then.
Wait, just the 2 of them, or were they just like he was playing guitar and he was playing drums?
Yeah, exactly that.
Oh, that's so
From what
weird.
I remember.
Local H style, huh?
White Stripes, whatever, or something. Derek asked me if I wanted to play, and I'm like, yeah, sure, that'd be cool. And I really liked the stuff because we were listening to a lot of Jawbreaker at the time, and hence the name Boxcar came from the Jawbreaker song.
I was gonna ask that, yeah.
And what the song is about. So that was the humble beginnings of Boxcar.
No pun intended.
It was such a lifetime ago. Let's keep this going. Lots of hands are going on heads right now. Like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm corny when it comes to puns, and yeah, sorry.
We're like gonna pull up like the dad jokes right now.
Oh, yeah, but I was doing dad jokes in my teens, unfortunately.
I think I remember that when we'd play. All right, so Derek's playing coffee houses with just a drummer, and then you come in. So how long were you playing bass prior to that? Or did you start with bass, or were you playing guitar and then moved to bass?
All right, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I started with saxophone when I was 9.
Oh my God.
And then my friends, when I was in 9th grade, decided that it wasn't cool to have a saxophone in the band. Although it would have worked out with all the ska bands.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So
you've been rocking in like Taxi Cab Samurais or One Cool Guy back then.
Catch-22 or what? Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So then, when did that move to bass?
9th grade, and it was just a local band with a friend I still play with off and on once in a while, my friend Aaron, and it just moved on from there, and I played in a bunch of, I guess, kind of jammy bands or something in high school, and then did it was like a Cliff Burton. That was weird. I did like a. Excuse me.
Wait, like Primus? Wait, no, Cliff Burton. Oh, fuck, God, Metallica. I'm editing that out.
Yeah, thank you.
Breathe through your nose. Big hands.
I did learn Jerry was a race car driver in high school.
Oh my God, did you did you play slap bass?
Yeah, I did. I used to at one point, and then I think it was just took over too much with a lot of stuff. So it's not much anymore. Not with bass.
So you come in now. Were you always playing bass upside down?
Yes. Yeah. I always had people that had like guitars or basses, and I would just play them or strum them. And everybody was right-handed, of course, so I had to, adapt.
Yeah, because you played the low E. That was where usually the G string was. So I remember watching you. I'm like, how the fuck? Like I always go up to him like, how do you do that?
I think it was one of the Congress of Cow shows up in where the hell was it? Where we first played with you guys? I think you might have said that to me. Like, what the hell?
No, it was the Bordentown show. That was that's where we met you guys and Bigwig. I've talked about that in a lot of these episodes. Derby? Yeah, no, it wasn't the Derby Firehouse. It was an outside pavilion. It was an all-day festival.
That was my first. That was probably my first. No, it wasn't my first show with you guys.
No, you weren't there. No, I don't think you were there because you guys had you had the old drummer with you because you guys all rolled out. I looked to the right. I remember this. We were in the pavilion and they see this, like, I think it was like a white van. That was like you guys.
Yes.
This fucking white van rolls up and like 10 people roll out of this thing. And I'm like, and Derek's in the front, just these long dreads. I'm just like, what's coming out of this vanner? This looks so fucking awesome. And
nowadays it would just be smoke pouring out of the van.
Well, I think you guys came out, and I think you were pre-partying in there because you had the couch in there.
Yes.
And you guys would pre-game in the van before you played or before we went into the show, I think.
Wait a minute, that was Heightstown or East Windsor, I think.
That was Heightstown.
Yes. Yeah, all right. We had a keg of beer that day, right?
Yes.
That's the first time we played with Bigwig. Holy shit! Yeah, that was.
Was it really?
I was not there. I heard about this story, but I was not there.
Yeah.
I was not in the van when the keg was in the
That's
van.
right. Jay was still playing with us.
Yeah. Oh my God. So
was pre.
Oh man.
So that was the first time the three of us all played in a show together. It's our first time with you guys. You guys with Bigwig, and us with Bigwig, and obviously them with us. That's crazy. I didn't realize that.
I remember that was a great time, and that was.
Oh my God, that show was amazing. We actually played Club Benet the night before.
Oh wow!
And we got kicked off. The guy gave us like 6 songs, and he said like, okay, your time's done. And obviously he had time. We were like, fuck you. We kept playing. He walks up, starts unplugging us one by one. We're like, fuck Club Benet. And then we played with you guys the next day. It was awesome. But so okay, before I always get off track, but it's
the same here.
It adds to it. But all right, so you guys, so when so what was the first Boxcar show actually?
Boy, my first show with them I think was in this guy Dave's backyard in Bordentown.
Okay.
And we actually included because we didn't have enough songs. I think we had 4 or 5 songs. We played a face-to-face cover.
Which one?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I forget.
Oh my God, yeah.
That stuff.
You don't know what you want to be.
Yes,
you
yeah,
don't know what you want to do. Yeah,
because
I love that song.
everybody else was doing Disconnected.
Everyone did Disconnected. Everyone played that fucking song.
Yeah, so that was a cool show. That was the three of us, Jay, Derek, myself.
Was that Dave, like Big Dave? He was always at the show with you guys, like tall guy. He works at the mill.
No,
that's Fat Dave Locane. You're thinking of Fat Dave.
Locane, yeah. I always see his post. He's still at the Mill House. Mill Hill base. What is that?
Mill Hill Basement.
Yeah, he puts on the shows there.
Yep. I love that he still does that. That's so fucking badass. Yeah. All right, so you guys do that, and then all right, when does Bnuts come in the picture? When do we get him in this?
1996, I
97.
think. It was. I think I met Derek in 96.
And I met
City Gardens, actually.
I met Brendan.
Oh, fun story. Yeah.
I met Brendan.
Yeah, tell it,
with him. We're playing like a Rush song or something like that at somebody's basement, like a couple years before that.
No, it was a while before that.
Was it like 3?
I think it was like 1993.
It might have been, yeah.
When I this is a really random story how I met Chris before I knew who Chris was. Is that me and a couple of my friends ended up at this party in Ewing at this dude Shane's house, and he had like a split level house. In the lower portion, they had like like they were jamming down there. There's like drums and bass and guitar and stuff set up, and it's like a party, so there's people all over. And you wander downstairs, and there's just some there's instruments and shit. So Chris was playing bass. Some dude I remember what he looked like, but I didn't know who he was playing guitar. And I just sat down on the drums and just started jamming with these guys. And it turns out that I was sitting with Chris Newman. And like 5 years later, I ended up in a band with him. That's how that actually happened. It's really weird.
But we were on our first tour. And I'm like, yeah, holy shit. Like, it just clicked in my mind. I'm like, oh, my God, that was you that I was playing with this whole time. Like that I was jamming with. I'm like, wow, that's fucking nuts, man.
That's so fucking weird.
It is weird.
But back to your question, we first met up. We had a tour coming up. It was our first tour. We only had like 2 tours where we went around to a bunch of states and stuff.
Yeah, the summer of '97 was a tour.
Yeah,
and Derek told me that their drummer
flaked the hell out.
Dave, I think his name was.
I never saw that dude since. And
he said like if he went on tour, he needed like a hotel room and a bucket of champagne and everything else. And I was like, dude, I'll sleep on the fucking floor. I don't care. Let's just go.
This is what we did for most of that tour.
You're like, oh, I'm gonna get out of Jersey? Yeah, fuck it. Put me in the van. I'll go.
Basically, Derek. I remember Derek writing his phone number down, like using my back as like let me write my phone number for you. Call me because we need a drummer. That's how it went down. It was a Thursday night at City Gardens for 95-cent dance night, and I saw him there, and I was talking. We were just talking about music and stuff. And I think it was Scott Raymond, actually, a mutual friend of ours, introduced me to Derek, who was there, and said, "Oh, my friend's band's looking for a drummer. You should talk to him." And that's how it happened.
But it was 2 weeks before our tour. We're like, oh shit, are we gonna be able to pull this off? And we did. We did this tour with this band called Snallygosser from upstate New York.
Okay.
I haven't heard back from those guys. I mean, we haven't heard from them since 21 years ago, which is nuts.
What was the tour like? Where'd you guys go?
We started in Baltimore, or Baltimore, if you said
it
that.
It was. We did go to Baltimore first. We just went basically south from there.
Yeah, went down to
but we did make it
Roanoke, Virginia.
Yeah, I think we made it to Texas too, because we played Austin.
No, that was
the first tour. We played Austin, Houston.
No, that was the second tour with.
You sure?
Yes, with oh God, El Grupo de Rock.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, that was the second tour.
All right,
but the first tour. Then we went down to. That's where the whole thing with the fireworks and all that stuff. We actually have video of the first one. I watched it recently. We look so young for one, and 2, it's like holy shit. The shakiest camera work ever.
Well, back then it would have been a camcorder. Right?
It was an anti-shake camera too, and it still looks like a drunkard was. Well, maybe a drunkard.
Well, probably. If you guys still have the keg in the fucking van, then most likely. Did you tour with the keg in the van, or was that out before you guys went on tour?
That was we just happened to be at a party the night before that big wig, and it was Congress of Cal or was Lane? No, it was Congress of Cal.
Congress of Cal.
That was way before. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
So,
you guys were always like, we always talk about like, dude, Boxcar, like, yeah, because when we started playing, we weren't 21. You guys were 21, right? Or you weren't?
Yes.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, because you guys were, the ones who could buy beer and stuff. And we're like, man, those guys are doing it right. We can't even buy beer, but we want to be like them. Oh shit. So yeah, man, I think every band when they started the tour, they'd always go south. No one really went north except Bigwig. They were like, Canada, let's go.
I know. I wish we would have done that.
Yeah, same here.
Oh my god, yeah. I think Canada would have been. It's like going to Japan, where it just like a different country. They show up and you're just treated like kings or whatever, and you go in the United States.
No one coming out of Canada is insane, dude. Toronto's got a huge scene.
Yeah,
right now.
Montreal as well. I remember some guy was trying to track me down, or track us down for like some, like, you have any like old comps or anything that you're on, or just comps that you want to. I wish I gave it to him because it's just I still have a bunch of comps taking up space in my basement right now.
Which ones you got?
It's like, oh my god, I need to get rid of this shit. So,
no, you don't. You got to hold on to that, man.
No. I'm saying I have like boxes of a couple of dozen or something. I'm like, oh my god, I need to get. I have a couple of. I had to go on eBay to get one of our CDs because I.
A Boxcar CD?
Yeah.
You had to go and eat. I still have a box of them at my house.
Yeah, so I didn't know you had that. I went on there and paid like 10 or 12, whatever it was, and it was like I'm like, I don't have a copy of our own goddamn CD. I need to get need to buy one on eBay, and somebody actually was selling one. So, but so anybody's listening, I have a ton of comps out there.
Yeah. Trust me. No shit, man. I'll bet you anything people are gonna fucking contact you and try to get that. I'm not even kidding.
Also,
sound for like $20.
Call it vintage.
I was gonna get to that point about. I remember when people asked you to do comps.
Yeah.
And then there's some shift with everything where people started asking you, "Hey, can you pay $100 and we'll give you $100?" I'm like, wait a minute. I thought we used to be able to do comps at one point, and the guy who was putting it together would do the comp. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Or they would never pay for us to record the song. They would just say, "Hey, do you have any recordings? Can we put this on this?" And we're like,
"Yeah,
sure."
Yeah." It started that way, and then it started saying, "Hey, if you want to be on this comp, it's $50 or $100 or something like that." It's like,
what?
I don't remember that.
Yeah. There was. Well, maybe.
I was trying to rip you off.
Yeah, but hey,
He's like, this guy looks like a sucker. I'm gonna take it. $100. Oh my god, it's amazing. What do you know the name of the comps? Because if you go on the NJPP archive, I was just on there before we got in the interview, and in the SoundCloud, I'm going through it, scrolling. I'm like, I remember that comp. I remember this one. There was the pinball one, the family.
I was doing the same thing.
Yeah,
I was like,
really?
Oh shit, I forgot about that one. There's one from Seattle or Bremerton or somewhere up by like MXPXville, and I think they were on the comp too.
Oh wow!
I think I have every single one of those comps.
We're actually on a comp with Snapcase. There's a comp
really?
we're on with Snapcase. Yeah.
What?
It's got like 30 songs on it. It's ridiculous. It's like it doesn't matter at that point anymore.
I was looking at our track listing times. I'm like, oh my god, the whole album is like under 23 minutes or something like that.
Fucking awesome. That's the way it should be. Get on, get off, nobody gets hurt. Always leave them wanting more.
Well, that was the thing. I was listening to. I'm gonna jump forward ahead, and I'm gonna jump back. But I was listening to the LP, and I'm like, it was like 32 minutes or something. Someone has it on YouTube, the whole thing, just a whole album, beginning to end. And I'm like, wow, it's only 32 minutes. And literally, I'm listening to it, and it's just like I'm out. I look down at my phone or whatever, and it's like 5 minutes. Like, you're on song 6. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
And 2 of those minutes are probably the dead quiet after the I want my cigarettes part.
Our hidden track has 3 minutes of silence. Yeah.
Wait, what was that? Is it the end?
Just what I needed.
No, he's talking about the CD.
Yeah.
Doyle,
Yeah.
are you talking about the 7-inch?
No, I'm talking about the fucking full length. Yeah.
Yeah. The only one. Yeah. The hidden track. Our Cars cover.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's like 3 minutes of silence, and then you get the last track's like 17 minutes long.
And we recorded that album at Track East because we love like stuff like Lifetime. Absolutely love Lifetime.
Oh yes.
Jersey's Best Dancers, and the first album too. But that one was just like, holy shit, this is amazing. And
Jersey's Best Dancers. I'll probably get like whatever reamed out for this. I think it's better than Hello Bastards. I mean, Hello Bastards is great.
Absolutely, my friend. I'll go on record right now. It is a perfect record.
Oh yes.
Not that Hello Bastard sucks. It doesn't. But there's throwaway tracks on Hello Bastard.
Yeah.
Every song on Jersey's Best Dancers,
from beginning to end.
Yes, you can. There's no arguing with that record at all.
Yeah.
And I was able to buy that on vinyl a couple years ago, and I'm like, holy shit, it's on vinyl. What?
Oh, you're a dick. I want that on.
I'll get it for you.
He'll trade it for the he'll trade for the CDs that you have. He'll trade you for a Boxcar CD. So who wrote most of the songs?
At first, it was Derek. Probably the first 4 or 5, the ones that are on the 7-inch were Derek mainly.
Derek and Jay, I guess.
Derek, yeah. And then
Is
I
Jay-
started adding some stuff.
Is Jay
Jay Boxcar?
Jay Boxcar, the original drummer.
So is he on the 7-inch?
No.
Yeah, I thought because that's yeah.
No, I'm on the
right, you're on
7-inch.
that,
But
yeah.
we didn't record a 7. We recorded the 7-inch at Creep Records in '97.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
but there is a
dude.
tape that was before that.
Yes, which is
Horrible.
what I learned. I learned all the songs off of that tape.
And he made
That's
him
not a
sound.
bad tape at all. I thought that was good.
No, we said the recording quality.
Oh,
It was
well,
not-
of course. It was on a 4-track back then.
Was that Fuck
So that was
About
the
It?
place-
Was on the comp?
What's that?
Because Fuck About It was recorded and on a comp. That I think wasn't that like there was.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
the Bob Ross one. I think was the actual original version that we had. I think that
Was
was
that the one that I'm
before
on?
you.
That was right before
It
me.
sounds like
Happy Little Trees. That
I
comp.
think
Yeah.
that's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that came out after I was in the band, though. Oh, you mean that they might have had?
that was
You
Brian
might have
King,
given
too,
them.
right?
Oh, maybe it was.
No,
Is it Brian
dude.
King?
No, it's on. No, I got it right here. It's
No, Happy Little Trees. No, I'm on that comp. It's the comp before that where Jay is.
Anarchy in the NJ. I think that's the one.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's
With
the
Mohawk
original
Barbie as well, and yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one. My first comp.
I saw that one
I
too. Yeah.
remember- wasn't that Molly? That wasn't Molly.
Oh, maybe it was.
Wait, no, remember what the hell was the record label? Unfair Records. Remember Unfair Records?
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. What the?
That was
Holy
Molly. Yeah, Molly. Ricky's
Whoa.
Ricky's sister Molly used to
Holy
run Unfair
shit.
Records.
Right.
Or do it or whatever she
Wow.
did with it.
Damn. I totally forgot about that. There's a lot of course, long time has passed and a lot of stuff has happened. I'm sure I forgot about stuff, but when stuff's brought up, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. Holy shit.
That's what getting older is, Chris.
That's what people are
That old
digging.
man.
People are like literally digging these interviews because they're like remembering all this stuff back then, and I love talking to you guys too because there'll be things that you don't remember, and you're like, oh my god, that's fucking crazy.
Well, that's part of the reason why Chris wanted me to do this with him, is because it's better. Like, he won't remember everything, but
Yeah.
he knows the backstory better than I do because he started the band. But not started, but he was around for the beginning.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but I spent a lot of time with these guys, and I can remember some different stuff every now and
That's
then.
true.
So it's better to have two people. We just thought it would be more fun that way.
Oh, I
Plus,
love it.
Chris was scared to talk to you by himself.
You should
That
be.
wasn't that. It just I was afraid that I wasn't going to remember enough stuff, and I might be an awkward interview. By
Everyone
myself.
says, "Oh man, dude." Everyone I reach out to, they're like, "I'm not really good at interviewing." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. I'll ask you the questions." They're like, "Don't even worry about it."
Wait, and Heath was in a van driving home from work, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, man.
There's a part where I literally say in the interview, I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck is that noise?" He's like, "Ah, shit, man. I'm in my work van right now." And I'm like, "Well, put the window up." He's like, "It is." It's like, well, I'm not really good at editing anything, but I had to literally cut his section out every time I was talking, so you wouldn't hear like a,
My God.
yeah. But
But back to the van though, that white van.
yeah, tell me about the van.
We just started the tour, and I think in Baltimore we had Sorry, we had the like the radiator broke or whatever it was. Is that this? No, that was the second tour.
That was North Carolina. We were supposed to. Here's the show. I remember this. Donuts and Glory.
Oh
Yes.
my
Straight
god.
Face, but
Dude.
straight Face didn't show up. It was us and Donuts and Glory at this
Donuts and
really.
Glory. Holy
Donuts
shit,
and
those
Glory
guys
is
were
really. It's the
amazing.
first time we ever saw those guys. It blew our fucking minds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Brian King got that on vinyl too because they had vinyl. Remember that?
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Damn it.
Back then I wasn't into vinyl. I'm like, I don't know what am I gonna do with that? I want a CD. It's stupid.
Takes up too much
But anyway,
space.
yeah, no, the van broke down like across the street from the club in I think it was North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken.
And it was South Carolina.
It was all right. It was one of the
South Carolina.
Carolinas,
And
and,
the guy-
Straight Face bowed out of the Straight Face never showed up, but it was us and Donuts and Glory. I think one other band, but
Yeah.
we were blown away by Donuts and Glory.
Yeah.
But,
Holy shit. And then we listened to the CD. We're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
but why we start talking about this?
Oh, because
Cut the tour.
right, so both bands that we had one van one year. Then we had like the conversion band that didn't have the
shit
pop-up
brown
top-
conversion brand. Yeah.
But we had a couch in that, the same couch. And both tours we went down. We thought it was a great idea to go down south in the summer. So we went down there with no AC in either van,
Oh god.
and we're just sweating our balls off. But we did a straight run. We did a straight drive. We played a show in Wildwood, and then we drove all the way to Corpus Christi, Texas.
What?
In a 36-hour period. Yeah, it was stupid.
We kicked off the tour with that show. That was with 88 Fingers Louie.
That's right.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah.
And Go Real Slow played too.
Yes.
Wait, was this when you guys just had the 7-inch?
Yeah.
Yes,
that was
yeah.
we went to 7-inch that time. Yeah.
Who? This is one of my questions. Who did the artwork for the 7-inch?
This guy Larry Opotamus, who was in a band called Hippopotamus, from Browns Mills, I think that's where they're from.
Wasn't that your original shirt design too?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the oval with the two lines.
No.
And the boxcar.
Oh, I thought you meant the girl kicking the guy in the balls.
But that logo is still on that.
Oh, you're talking about the logo or you said artwork?
The actual the sleeve of the 7-inch.
The sleeve.
Yeah, that was
is that the oval design with the two stripes?
It's part of it. We'll get there.
Am I not getting this?
Let me go over and get it for you.
The album artwork.
You know the girl with the lollipop?
Yes,
yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That was. We're also talking about that.
Never mind then. Edit all this out. I'm an idiot. I'm old. Okay?
But the shirt that the guy's wearing is the actual Boxcar shirt that you guys used to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who was this person So Harryopotamus?
No, Larry Opotamus.
Larryopotamus. No.
Like what? Was this guy in the band? He was Larry from the band Hippopotamus, and he was. I think he did amazing artwork.
Yeah.
So Derek asked him to draw that for him or something, and I guess that's where the Wimpcore thing came from.
See, I'm still confused. Doyle, are you talking about the actual Boxcar logo or the actual drawing of the guy?
The fucking drawing of the guy.
Okay. Again, I'm retarded. Never mind. Edit this out.
Here it is, Brendan.
I get it. I have this. I get it. But he's talking about the shirt the guy's wearing. That's what I'm.
Oh my God! Enough about the shirt.
I know. Fine. I know. We're like an old married couple. Never mind.
Holy shit. Oh my God. That was the one thing, man. Because when you guys rolled up and you started selling that to me, I thought that was a bit of a game changer because there was actual good-looking artwork, and we'd only see that from bigger bands. And you guys come in with the 7-inch, which was even because that's when bands were starting to do 7-inches. That was usually the first release was something on vinyl, potentially. And then you guys had this thing, and it just looked so big, so like much bigger than all the other vinyl that I saw. It was because that shit was. The artwork on the other vinyl like sucked. Like the Humble Beginnings vinyl with the blue and white record that they had. Do you remember that one?
Right.
Yeah. That was like
it's
got the Liberty Spike like person with the shopping cart I think on it. It was just bad. It was bad fucking artwork. And then you guys had awesome artwork.
I do remember that. Yes. It looked like a street sign.
Yeah, it looked like a giant piece of shit.
Wait, so my old roommate, this guy Eric Lace, he used to do a shoelace
zine called Shoelace.
Yeah, so I asked him, we're like, hey, can you, because he did like graphic art stuff. I'm like, I don't, can you hook it up or whatever? So we went back and forth with this stuff. So, and by the way, this is the only picture I think I have of me with any facial hair.
You had a beard or a mustache?
There's the photos on the 7-inch liner.
Awful.
It's I remember we took those in Derek's garage.
Yes.
We used to practice in his garage at that point.
Yeah.
I think Chris was inspired by my goatee from the 90s because I was the only one with facial hair when I joined the band. But Chris immediately grew a goatee like within months of me being in the band. And the 7-inch pictures are proof of it.
Dude, I'm not even fucking kidding. I have it right here. I forgot I have all this vinyl, and I have it in my hands. Holy shit, I'm opening this up. This is so great.
And it's funny because I had an issue with the photos of myself because I'm like, I feel weird. Like, this is strange. And if you notice, like, on the back cover,
the
photos of all three of us, Derek's jumping and looks like a rock star. Newman's rocking out with a goatee. And I'm emo boy.
Yeah, you are.
I'm sad behind my drums, like a fucking asshole. But then if you open it up and look at the inside cover, I'm laughing my ass off in the background. So
you're like, hey, there's a camera there. Yeah, the print on the the record though, that's pixelated as shit.
Yes,
we had issues with that.
Yes, we did. We're like,
oh my God.
All right, so whoever did that. I was gonna comment on that. They used like when I originally came up with the Boxcar, the oval thing. We were trying to do it for Sticker Guy, out of West Arizona or wherever he is. I forget.
Oh, okay, that was Fat Rat.
Oh no, that's Dean up off Route 23. But no, there was a guy. That was the other sticker that we had, the Boxcar stickers. Yeah. We got from Dean from Fat Rat. But there was a guy called Sticker Guy, and it was like 2 colors this much and 3 colors whatever, and that's why the logo looks like that. I think I did it in paintbrush.
Looks like you did, yeah, looks like you did it in Mac
font or whatever. Man. It was horrible. I'm like, oh my god, this looks bad.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of carries now where it looks even more vintage, but as a graphic designer, I just want to punch this person in the face.
Yeah. Well, the album, the thing with it's just horrible.
Oh
and then
how bad is
this? Wait, look at the
thing
font.
Can't be that bad.
All right, we're going deep here. Sorry, we're
wow.
Look,
right.
see the font for like what's in Bullwinkle?
Yeah,
it's like that.
It's Arial.
Goofy Sands, whatever the fuck it is.
Even the 45 RPM thing.
No, that is it's like rubber. I think that's actually. Yeah, I'm not gonna get. I got in this huge font conversation with Josh that went like 20 minutes. I'm not doing it again.
Direction.
Oh yeah, so
DIY Direction. Right? Is it DIY Direction or
Direction Records? That's right.
That was John who was in.
Sustanudo? No.
No. I was gonna say El Secondhand. I keep thinking. All I could think of was El Secondhand now.
What band was he in?
Oh, Secondhand, yeah.
Not El Secondhand. It was.
Oh my god.
Is this Secondhand?
We'll remember it like in 5 minutes.
Dude, all you have to do is go on the NJPP archives and then look at
exactly.
Yeah, Second Chance and Secondhand. Those are
Second Chance.
Second
Thank
Chance.
you. I felt such a jackass.
Yep.
There's L Secondhand and Second Chance.
Yeah, that's right.
Like L, like EL.
No, EL. It was L Secondhand. Because
Okay.
it used to be called Secondhand, but there was another Secondhand.
Yeah, so they do L Secondhand.
So you plow. We
Plow
can Plow
United,
United because there was already a plow.
Yep, here it is, L Secondhand, right on the archive. Good job, Joe. Okay, the one thing that pissed me off about the 7-inch was that "Fuck About It" is my favorite song from you guys, besides the first song on the full length. Actually, Newman, your song, GOT or GOT, whatever.
Girl over there.
Girl over there.
Girl over there. Yeah. He wrote the words to that while we were waiting for a fucking drawbridge after playing the Pipeline in Newark.
What?
That drawbridge that's on.
That was one of the best shows we ever played. That fucking show we played. It was a Felix Frump CD release show.
Yes.
And Tom from Bigwig played on. They had everybody was on stage except for Tom.
Well, that's when they kicked him out, right? Or he.
Yeah. And it was a Felix Frump CD release show. I think it was 97 or 90. It was probably 98.
98 or 99. Yeah.
And we had an awesome fucking set. It was a great fucking show. That place has been shut down since. I think we're like the second or third show to like the last show, one of the last shows to be played there.
They closed that down.
And, Tom was the only member of Felix Frump that wasn't at the CD release. No, it was Felix Frump CD release.
Yeah, but Graham was in Felix Frump.
Yeah, but Tom used to be in.
Felix Frump.
Oh shit! Oh, that's right.
And he was the only one.
Oh my god!
The only one wasn't there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was the thing. It's like he got. I think he got kicked out, and then I have an interview with him next week, and I'm going to ask about that because I think that he got kicked out, and then my guess is that he created Bigwig after that as kind of not like a fuck you, but as a next step maybe.
Right.
It definitely became a fuck you because Bigwig became gigantic, and I don't think Felix Frump really did much after that.
And Felix Frump was one of the early bands I remember like listening to like in the Jersey scene. That and Doc Hopper and stuff. That was like, oh shit, this is really cool. And Derek got me into them, and it's like Screw 32 and a bunch of other bands that are other members of other bands and things like that. But stuff's coming back to me now.
Let it roll in.
There was a label called Off Time Records, which
Nick Kim and Manhead. Was that?
They might have been on there, but it was the guys from Horace Pinker who we were going to do it, and then we went to see Horace Pinker and Doc Hopper play a show in Philly.
I remember that,
and it never happened. And that was also at the Drive-Ins. First stuff is off of Off Time Records too.
Oh, really?
Was it? Yeah, you guys actually played with them back in the day before.
Yes, yeah.
You guys had a show with at the Drive-In.
Alkaline Trio, and
really?
Yeah.
What, they slapstick back then?
Oh. No. Well, yeah, technically Dan left. Dan left Slapstick and created Tuesday and joined Alkaline Trio.
There was a band called Tuesday?
Yeah, they played in Jersey.
Thursday.
I know. I'm freaking Take Back Sunday, Thursday. There's a band called Tuesday. I didn't even know that. Holy shit.
Dude. No,
Ricky and I back on Monday. No, sorry.
No, go on. We're eventually gonna get back to that tour.
Yes. Is an hour going to be enough time?
Is this a tangent of a tangent of a tangent?
We can keep going. Okay. I just do it an hour because I don't know. That's usually. I mean, people do podcasts.
People check out after 5 minutes.
Attention span. Yeah.
I'm not. No, dude, man. People have really listened to this because this is reminding other people of shit because they're going, oh my god, or they're either that or they're yelling at their phone or what they say. The fucking answer's this.
Wait, this isn't live, is it?
No.
My phone's blowing up.
Doc Hopper,
next
fucking
caller,
idiot.
Next caller.
What is Fuck About It about, anyway?
It's all you, Chris.
I'm not sure what.
The name of the song is a play on the Jersey. Forget about it. But so it's Fuck It About It.
Yeah.
But yeah, what is that about anyway?
It's probably about some girl.
Did Derek write it?
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know what. Yeah.
Well, you're so ugly.
I think.
You're so ugly. You don't talk to me at all, but I think I'm drunk again. It's one of my favorite lines ever.
It's gotta be.
I think I know what it's about, but it's I'm not saying anything. I think it's about an ex of Derek's. So.
You know what? Since Derek didn't want to be on this, then he gets to listen to us rip apart his fucking songs. So take that, Derek. Yeah, because
walk down to his house. Hey, what's up? We're interviewing with Doyle right now. I know you don't want to do it, maybe, but
just say hi.
About this right now, Derek. Anyway.
Oh man. Yeah, I put that song at the. I always do these video intros or previews for each week, and I always end it with the chorus of that song because it's just. I think it just. I don't know.
So ugly.
Yeah.
You won't talk to me at all, but I think I'm drunk again.
Yep, that's such a great line.
Wait, I want to just do another sidetrack here.
Yeah, deal for it.
And mention that there was a Fuel by Ramen did how's it called? The
comp.
Yeah, the comp. We're on
the takeout box.
Yeah, we're on the Fuel by Ramen comp. But that show we were playing with Rhythm Collision and Settler. Yeah. Settler, who turned into Saves the Day.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like a nuts thing, and I think we just got him that day. But it was Derek and Steve from Shower with Goats would hang out with Chris from
Settler.
No.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Chris from Less Than Jake.
Okay.
They knew him somehow. I don't know if it was through email or whatever way. So we all got on that comp. There were only like 300 made, and it was in the Chinese takeout box.
Oh my god.
And then we're supposed to do a split 7-inch with Shower with Goats, and there was some kind of weird drama or whatever, and it never happened. And then it was going to be a one-sided 7-inch, which is just dumb, but that never happened either. So, and then 10 years later, you see what happens with like Fuel by Ramen. It's like, holy shit, they just
Oh my god, yeah.
That shit is like nuts. Like same with like Drive Thru with all that stuff too, like what you guys were talking about on the other podcast.
Yeah. Well, Fuel by Ramen, that's Vinny from Less Than Jake's label, right?
Yes, yeah, Vinny and Chris.
That guy could do no fucking wrong. He gets in this band, they blow up Less Than Jake. He starts a label, Fuel by Ramen, and then Fuel by Ramen. Who's the? There's some band recently that they had, or years ago they signed. That's gigantic. Is it? It's not Paramore, is it? It's
Well, yeah, they're on there. They're on there as well. Yeah.
They are.
Yeah. Paramore was on there.
No, but I know. Yeah.
No, Paramore initially was on there, but I don't think the big Paramore now is on there.
What's Decadence or Decadence Records?
Yeah.
I know who he's talking about. Fuck, I can't think of the name.
It's huge. It's this huge fucking band.
Fall Out Boy.
Wait,
Fall Out.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, they were on there.
They're on there, but there's another band that's like ridiculously
what the fuck,
big.
Or what's that band called? They did that silly. What the fuck are they called? It was
what they did? What silly? What they?
You almost have it. You googling this? I'm trying to think what the fuck.
I'm looking this up right now.
He's looking up now.
For Christ's sake, we have the internet. Oh, Fun's. Jesus Christ, Fun's on there. All time low.
F-U-N. That band's Fun.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that guy's another band that got fucking huge?
Oh no, dude. 21 Pilots. They're on there. They're gigantic.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait, 21 Pilots had shit on Fuel by Ramen?
No, they're on Fuel by Ramen. Like right now, they're on.
Oh my god.
That's how big that. Wait. Wow.
Yeah, Fuel by Ramen's huge, man.
Yeah.
I had no fucking idea.
Yeah. I mean, they were.
I thought Side One Dummy was big.
Well, there was like, they were. Well, that. I mean, think about all the labels back then that we used to all want to be on. It was Fuel by Ramen. It was, Fat Records was like kind of a Hail Mary. But
Victory Records was around back then too.
Yeah, but Victory was all
Hopeless,
hardcore.
Fearless.
Hopeless.
Yeah,
Hopeless was good, but then
Fearless Records.
But Hopeless they were good, and then all of a sudden they just started putting these records out. Like they took the Dillinger 4 and they were all 7 inches, and they put out their full length, and it was kind of, I don't know, I felt like it was not as good. Maybe that.
Wait, you talking about Midwestern Songs for the?
Yeah.
That one, that was on. Wait, what label was that on?
Hopeless.
Oh, I thought that was a good record. You didn't like the way that sounded?
Maybe I can hear music with different ears now, because back then I think there were certain styles that I was into. Because I remember hearing Frames and Canvas by Braid back then. I was like, this is awful. And then I heard it when I was in my late 20s. I'm like, how did I ever hate this record? It's like when you're younger, you don't like eating vegetables. When you get older, you're like, I have to do this or I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna get cancer.
That life that I want tastes a lot healthier. What were the majority of your songs about?
Girls. I think that's a lot of it.
I have no idea because I never wrote any.
You're the drummer, man.
All I
keep
helped
a beat,
out
buddy.
with was arranging the parts to the songs. It was all either who was singing them. So it was Derek's lyrics or it was Newman's lyrics. And I remember at one point when we were writing songs for the full length,
the slowest possible writing of any band, I think, it was us.
At one point during our rehearsal session, it was the newer, I forget what song it was. I think it was what's the song that starts out? It was a Monday night.
All right,
that whole.
It was a Monday night.
What's the song called? Let me finish there. What's the song called?
I'm trying to think of the song.
You can't think of it? Anyway, I think we were writing that song.
You've done enough already.
No, that's from the... No,
nobody's business.
Anyway, I digress. No, I remember at one point we're working out the parts and we're playing and we stop and Newman looks at Derek and is like, what's the song about? And Derek just says, it's just the way I feel about things. And that was his entire answer.
That's
and
awesome.
Both me and Chris thought, I think he's singing about us. Because the problem with him was because you never knew. Yeah. You never knew.
I think that's about the time I had a bong, and for some reason we're smoking out front of Derek's house, and there happened to be a Boxcar sticker on the bong, which is not a good idea. And the cops were like outside, and they're like, I don't know, they went all around the house. It might have been a little bit intrusive, but then we're like, I was inside shaking. So I'm like, oh my god, holy shit, we're getting busted. We're like 22 or 23. What the fuck? So I ended up getting arrested or whatever for that. It was
really?
Because I was like, all right, nobody else is going to do it. I'll take the fall for everybody.
Holy shit.
And I went downtown and it was like $800 or something stupid. It was a misdemeanor or whatever. But I think that's what that song is about. Track 4.
But most of the songs, I have no idea because I didn't write them.
Yeah.
So when you guys structured it though, was it a joint effort, or was one of you just, this is the way it's got to be, or was it, let's collaborate and figure these parts out?
We usually collaborate.
Yeah. It's like, here's an idea, let's try this out, and then we'll work around that.
As far as music goes, I mean, the lyrics we left up to whoever was singing them. That there was no argument about that, unless the only one in the band that ever opened up to suggestions for lyrics was Chris to me. And he was having trouble writing some lyrics, and I would try to help him out. But otherwise, he was the only one. Like, Derek always had his own lyrics, and that was just the way it was.
Yeah.
And we never really questioned it, except for that one time at practice.
She's talking about us. What the fuck?
He's plotting his new band.
These assholes.
Yeah, man. I like when singers or one person does the lyrics, and that's hard to let other people involved in that. I remember Newfound Glory. I found out that the two guitar players, Chad and Steve, they wrote all the lyrics and the songs, and then Jordan sang them, and it kind of threw me off because I was I was like, the singer needs to write the fucking words.
Right.
Well, it's weird. It is kind of weird to me too, though, because I agree with you. But like, one of my favorite band of all, like, the reason I play drums is because of the band Rush.
Mm-hmm. And
it turns out that, like, Neil Peart, once he got in the band after their first record, he wrote every lyric to every song ever since then.
Really?
Like, and Geddy Lee, the bass player, sang them. So it's a really weird dynamic that, like, here's the song, sing it, or here's the song, don't sing it. Like, I don't sing, so I've never understood all how that works, but I've always been really surprised by how people can, like, put words on paper and then sing them and have them mean something to them. Or if someone else writes it and puts it on paper and someone else can sing it, it still means the same thing.
Did you ever?
I don't know.
Okay, but I'll do kind of I'll simplify it. Have you ever had a bad breakup?
Yes.
Did you ever send them a really thought out text message or email that was like so good and burned them so bad?
Honestly, no.
Oh, Christ.
I might be screwing up.
Did you ever want to?
But to me, no, I've never actually done that.
Well, that's why you're not a fucking songwriter.
Take that and just put it on top of music. And
yeah, right? And then you had heartbreak and feeling, and people can relate to it. They're like, yeah, that fucking bitch. That's how you get them. Okay. Well, that crashed and burned, so I'm going to move on.
All right. I was going to get to that song that, no, I'm sorry. That was the song that ruined everything, by the way. The one we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah, it's number 4. Yeah, you're right.
But
Good.
I named that one as well.
Yes, you did. And you named the other one and the album.
I did, that's right.
But the first song is called The Complete Guide to Home Bartending.
I love that song so much.
That was a lot of fun writing because, well,
it felt like it was a newer style that you guys were kind of going into. I mean, it was still fast and all that, but there was like a different structure dynamic.
Well, we got inspired by Digger. Remember Welcome to Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
Remember that Digger 7-inch? It was Digger and who?
Weston.
Digger, the Weston Digger 7-inch.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Pennsylvania. Do you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, there's a song called Freak Out by Digger.
Sometimes I freak out.
Yeah, it's a fucking awesome fucking song.
It's on Spotify, by the way. It's on Spotify.
What's that?
It's on Spotify.
It is?
Yeah.
I mean, I have the 7-inch, so I don't need fucking Spotify.
Oh, my God.
Spotify.
But anyway, we were like, I still love that fuck. I'd love to hear that. After we're done with this, we should put that on.
You should.
Put it on right
now. No, let's not put it on right now.
No, I think we were getting bogged down as a band. We were trying to, like, Derek was listening to a lot of Slick Shoes back then.
And heavy,
it was like all MXPX, Slick Shoes,
10 changes per song. That's like, what the?
And I was getting tired. Chris was getting annoyed. Derek was trying to write shit he couldn't play anymore. And so we listened to that song, and that song was so fucking good. We're like,
so good.
Why don't we do a 1-5-4 song? Like, just a simple, but get the chords out of the way, fucking part A, part B, part C, end. And that's what we came up with. We were inspired by that Digger song. And that's pretty much that song wrote itself.
Yeah.
That's a great song to be inspired by. That's an excellent fuck. I found that song a few months ago on Spotify, and I added to my playlist.
Give me another beer.
Give me another beer, Newman. So I was thinking about this when you were talking about that party where you got busted for the bong with the Boxcar sticker.
It wasn't actually a party. It was just them smoking pot in the park. No,
it was just a Monday.
In the driveway. No, even in the driveway.
In a parked car.
Oh, what? Well, then you guys are idiots. You should have
It was.
But anyway, sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
get the story straight. There were idiots outside. No party involved.
Well, the parties that you were involved in. Do you remember that show where we all showed up? I think it was like Central Jersey, and it was an upstairs of American Legion Hall, and the person who put it on fucked the whole thing up, and we all showed up. It was us, you guys, and Humble. So we all roll up with all of our friends, your guys' friends, and Humble's friends, and we I forget where it was, but it was this like tiny fucking place, and for whatever reason it sucked. So DeVecchio goes, all right, my parents are gone, which his parents apparently were always gone. He's like, we're gonna go to Hackettstown and we're gonna play the show in my basement.
I remember that. It was fucking far as fuck.
Yeah, really far for you guys, because you guys were all the way down in fucking Trenton.
Yeah.
But like we got there and we just all of us got fucking hammered in this basement and then played the show in front of basically us.
Yeah, really. Well, a lot of shows might have been like that too, where it was bands playing other bands and stuff too.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I remember there were times where I'm jumping all over the place, but I remember there were times where we would play a show in Cheesequake, and then jump up to Garfield or whatever, and like or play with Midtown and you guys or whoever. I forget who was playing in the show, but we jumped around, or sometimes we two. I think one time we did 3 shows in a day, which is kind of silly.
Jesus.
We've done that before.
But we're like, let's like, fuck it, let's go.
We play 2 shows.
Hey, you guys busy? Let's go. I'm like, all right, let's go. We're ready to go anyway.
Yeah, like we got nothing else to do. We got this van with a fucking keg in it. Let's go. All right, so tell me about recording The Weather's Here, Wish You Were Beautiful. Like, you guys recorded with Steve Ebbets. How was that?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Steve was the coolest guy in the world. And here's the thing. He made those guys tune after every take.
Yes.
Every
like
fucking
a good engineer
take.
should.
Jeez.
Every fucking take.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I took away from that.
Yeah.
And the fact that I wasn't a good drummer and he was bitching at me.
Play to the click. What's that?
No, it wasn't that. Like I wasn't getting a hard enough hit off the snare drum. He's like, dude, you're just tapping this thing. I'm not getting any fucking. What are you doing? It sucks to be yelled at by Steve Ebbets, believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Especially
looking at
the drummer. When you listen to play, like he recorded Snapcase before us, and then literally 2 weeks after Kid Dynamite recorded their first full length,
oh my God.
we were in there. We were like the next band.
That tape,
yeah.
like,
and he played us their shit. He had the artwork already done. He's like, here's their artwork. It hasn't come out yet. Check out these first 2 songs. We're like, oh fuck. We're like, how long did it take to record that song, that album, Steve? He's like, about 2 weeks. We're like, really? How long did it take to record Lifetime's Jersey's Best Dancers? He's like, 2 weeks.
Yeah, J Tree had a little more money.
Yeah.
We had 3 days.
We had 3 fucking days. We're like, want to do a 2-song EP? Like, how's this gonna work?
Did you do it in 3 days?
Yeah, we did. The Weather's Here, Wish You Were Beautiful was done in 3 fucking days. That includes setup, recording, and mixing.
And
so Steve pulled off a big order.
Yeah. He's also not a big fan. He's not a fan of auto-tune either, so you had to like hit the notes.
No, that wasn't around. I mean, I don't remember.
It was.
We recorded that in 98. That came out in 99.
Yeah.
So, no, it was September of 98 when we recorded that, I believe.
Auto-tune was starting to come around.
We had to do a lot of vocal work.
Yeah. I was drinking, playing video games in the lounge when I did that. Eating beef jerky.
How was his studio? Was it super nice? Where was it at?
Oh, that place is amazing.
Track East, right?
And it wasn't like the Ritz-Carlton, but like, well, the recording room and the control room are the nicest
that
places.
Place is, it's still there, and it was a really good setup there.
And by the way, Chris Pierce from Doc Hopper now is part owner of that. He records up there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I see Chris every now and then.
Oh, should we mention what we're doing later in the year?
Yeah.
The Trenton Makeage?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market?
No.
Okay. Well,
I haven't lived in Jersey in a while either, so.
Oh, that's right.
It's been happening for like probably close to 10 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, the guy that puts that on had an idea to do a Descendants cover band called Trenton Makeage, because Trenton Makes the World Takes. That's the bridge in Trenton that's the kind of famous or whatever.
Yeah.
So next Black Friday, this coming Black Friday, which is going to be 28 this year in November, we're doing a Trenton Makeage. It's going to be Descendants cover band called Trenton Makeage, and it's me on drums, Chris on bass, Chris Pierce playing guitar, and Joe Kazemka, the organizer of the Trenton Punk Rock Flea Market, is going to be singing. So we got that coming up soon.
That's awesome, man. Well, this will definitely be out before then too. So that's super. That's fucking badass.
Yeah. Well, we haven't actually practiced yet, so we don't know how good it's going to sound, but we'll find out.
I mean, you're playing Descendants songs. I mean, they're not like the most complicated things, right?
Well, until you get to everything.
They kind of are actually.
Yeah.
Are they really?
Have you? Bill Stevenson, dude, have you heard his shit?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He is kind of amazing on drums. I think I remember we were in our last tour we went on. We're in Denver, and it's where the boom
blasting room.
Yeah. Blasting room, right? So we're somewhere in Colorado. I think it was like Denver or whatever. And he shows up, and Casey, who's in the band, he was like, "Oh my God, there's Bill Stevens right there," and I knew he was, and I was never like a huge Descendants fan. I never really got into him. But I was like, obviously mad respect for him. But when I like walk up to him and I'm just bullshitting with him I'm like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, oh nothing, I'm just hanging out. I'm like, oh cool, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I got a recording studio. I'm like, oh, like totally just like fucking with him, like I didn't know who he was. And he's like, yeah, I got a recording studio. I'm like, oh, that's awesome, man, good for you.
Way to go, buddy.
I was like, good job, sport.
Wish you go to audio technical school.
Yeah. Oh, were you in a band?
I played in the Descendants for 20 years.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that sounds nice. Yeah. So the weather's here. Wish you were beautiful. Was Derek's girlfriend who came up with that title?
That was me.
It's Brendan.
Oh my God, that's right. It was you. How did you think of that?
My friend Dave Major, my oldest friend from high school, Dave Major said there was a postcard that he saw somewhere that said, instead of saying the weather's beautiful, wish you were here, he said the weather's here, wish you were beautiful. I mentioned that after practice, they were hanging out at Newman's house one night to Derek and Chris, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna name the record that." And I was like, "Okay, fine, I don't care."
That's awesome.
And then years later, actually, my friend Dave is thanked on the Boxcar 7-inch. I thanked him for the drums because I took his bass drum. Dave, my friend Dave, when we were growing up, he played drums as well. And I actually borrowed his bass drum and took it on tour with Boxcar in 1997. And we thanked him on the 7-inch. It says Briefcase Dave for the drums. We said we thank everybody, and it says Briefcase Dave for the drums.
That's amazing. And then he's the guy who basically named your full length.
Yeah, basically, he's the one that mentioned that off the cuff to me. For some reason, I remembered it.
But of course, it's a Jimmy Buffett album. We found out later on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Or
really?
it's a song called that.
Oh crap! I have no idea.
Well, hey.
Do you think subconsciously?
There's also another Boxcar.
Yeah, oh yeah. Were you guys pissed when Boxcar Racer came out?
No.
Fuck you, calmed along.
Actually, somebody wrote us on MySpace years ago. They're like, "Hey, why are you trying to copy off Boxcar?" I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck?" We ripped this. No, we didn't rip it up. But there's also that Australian Boxcar from like the early 90s.
Yeah.
80s.
I just
80s.
saw that when I was Googling more stuff about you guys that they.
Yeah, they're a dance band, I think.
Yeah.
Some kind of like electronica dance band or something.
What oh fuck! I just had it. I totally just forgot. Whatever. Fuck. That's gonna come back to me. Do you think? And this just is very out there, and I'm sure the answer is no. But do you think there's that play on words? Since Jawbreaker, you guys got Boxcar from that. The play on words that it's almost reminiscent of the "When It Pains It Roars" T-shirt that they had.
That's just Brendan's wearing that shirt right now.
I am.
Are you serious?
We just saw the show a few weeks ago at Brooklyn Steel.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
How'd you guys like it?
They did 3 shows back to back. Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I think everyone I've talked to has been to those fucking shows. Like, did you think that they like, what were they like on stage? Did Blake look like he was actually into it, or was he just kind of going through the motions because he's probably getting paid a shit ton of money?
No, they all look like they're
very
well into it. I mean,
they seemed very excited to be there.
Awesome.
They weren't 100% on point though.
Oh yeah.
But that's what do you haven't played in 20 years?
Yeah. But it was great.
It was awesome. It was fucking awesome.
That's so great. Did you feel that did it take you back to seeing them? Like, who did I talk to about this? I talked to someone one of the interviews I talked to, and it's when you saw these bands, you'd almost be kind of nervous before they came on stage, and you felt this like energy that was about to come in, and you're like, then they come up and just blows you away. Did you get that when they were playing?
Well, I've never seen them before, but I figured it would be very similar to this. It was almost like a basement show, kind of, in a way.
Really?
I'm with Chris. I'd never seen him either. And just like the Nirvana comment about them playing City Gardens,
yeah.
Jawbreaker played City Gardens all the fucking time. I never saw him either. I remember getting a punk card in the mail, and I remember I was going to Mercer County College.
Probably 92, 93 or something like that.
It was 1992, and I saw Jawbreaker was on the punk card. I'm like, I might go to this show just because I like the name of the band. And I never fucking went like an idiot.
I'm like honing this in, but I love where all this is going. I just like, it's just so great. What's the story behind the cover art that's on the full length? This is not the T-shirt design, Brendan. This is the artwork.
I'm with you. Doyle. I get it. Actually, Derek found that picture in a child psychology book, and always wanted it to be the cover, so we were cool with it. And the back cover is a flyer that we saw when we played
Blue Channel.
Yeah, we played with a band called Blue Channel in Hoboken.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was their flyer, and we ripped that off from their flyer. Like the guy, the muscle guy with the 2 girls in the back, the 50s graphic kind of thing. That's actually from a flyer back from 1997, probably, or 98.
Yeah.
We just ganked that. But the front cover, Derek would really have to answer that. I believe he found that in a child psychology book.
Yeah, he liked it. The kid was like a French book or a French artist who did it. And I think he liked it because it was like the kid was kind of like an outcast in the picture.
Yeah, it almost looks like fucking London in like the World War II era for some reason.
It's black and white. Yeah, it's the kids wearing goofy glasses and they're all wearing school shorts. It's like very Angus Young.
Then the picture on the bottom is us at the Basement of Secondhand and at Brian's.
Who else played that show? Saved the Day.
Wait, was it Saved?
He was playing acoustic on the fucking couch.
Oh, okay. And then I remember Chris from Saves the Day. Also, we played this coffee house down by us in Browns Mills. I'm still talking about it later on. He busted. He ended up breaking my amp.
Chris ended up breaking your amp?
Well, I mean, I don't know if you knew it. They were just they're playing so loud that they just kept cranking it up or whatever.
Oh man, he could probably buy you a few now. Or
no, that amp sucked anyway. I should have had an Ampeg SVT the whole time.
Yeah, those are the. What did you play out of back then?
It was SWR 350. It sucked.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, well, having since played an Ampeg SVT, like the 90-pound all tube head. I've since bought one of those because I played one in New Brunswick when I was playing with X No. 5. I borrowed somebody's, and I'm like, holy shit, this sounds amazing. And that's what like Kid Dynamite. I mean, a lot of people use that amp. It just has that very familiar
growl,
tone.
like that super. Yeah, you like the metal sound to it with like the bass to it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like slight distortion. I don't know. It's yeah.
Is Brennan taking a piss right now?
How did you know that?
Because he walked out of the room. I heard him going further away from the mic, and then I thought he was going to go get another beer, but I'm thinking he's probably taking a piss. Oh, man.
Your footsteps?
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, did you know you guys still have a MySpace page that's live?
Yes. I haven't touched it. I don't know if anybody else has. Why, is there shit up there?
No, I was looking up you guys, and it was like, oh, MySpace. I'm like, what the fuck? How is that still on there?
I think I did that like 5 or 6 years after the fact. I'm like, let me throw it up on MySpace. Because it's really hard to find our CD because there's no distribution or anything with Red Leader, at least with our CD. And we can't put it on Spotify or anything. It's like, oh, shit,
You can't?
I could, I guess, somehow. I don't have a label, but I'm sure there's ways to do that.
Yeah, it is kind of it's a really big fucking process to get this shit up there. I've been trying to get Lanemeyer stuff up there for years, and I think I was going through some form that was a mile long. I got about 2 questions. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm not making money off of this. You can find this on YouTube. I don't fucking care.
Well, now thanks to Joe, you can find all that stuff on YouTube, which is great because there's a lot of stuff I did forget about. Like I was looking for that the Humble Beginnings, like that EP. What was it? It was just awesome.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I forget what song it was, and I was just looking at it today, and I was like, that's holy shit, I missed this. And we used to have the tape of that, and it was like, whoa.
Yeah, that was a great fucking record. It was so good. When I was talking to Josh, I'm like, man, and like when that thing came out, it just I liked it when I loved playing with like you guys and Humble and basically like all these bands because I felt like it would push us to write songs like. You guys would show up with a new song, and I'm like, God damn it! Now I gotta really write a good fucking song.
It did force us to write songs like quicker for us too, because we take one song a year, or whatever slow rate like it is. But
yeah, it was annoying.
Yeah. Oh, he's back. There he is.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back from pissing. You're right. You get to be my age, your prostate don't work as much.
I don't think I'm that much younger than you, man. You guys were the same age as Sean, right? When we played the shows.
I think so.
No, Sean who?
Sean from Lanemeyer.
Drummer.
Yeah, I think I remember that you guys were all because you guys would all be at the bar because you legally could drink, and we're like, God damn it. And we'd make you buy us beer, or maybe make Sean buy us beer. He's like, fuck you guys. We're like, just do it. What did you guys actually want? Where do you want the band to go? Was there a vision, or did you just want to play?
We mainly like to play. It would have been cool to tour more because we got a taste for it with a couple like 97 and 98. Unfortunately, it just didn't pan out that way after that. It would have been nice to do it full time, but got rent and everything and all that stuff at the time, and a house now. So it's we didn't have the luxury, unfortunately, of being able to. Unfortunately, at the time, I didn't live at home. It would have been awesome if I could have, because I would have said, "Fuck this, I'm gonna go around the world."
Yeah, I don't think any of us at that point were living at home.
Yeah.
We couldn't have like just like up and left, but
yeah, it's a little bit a little envious because some of the younger bands that are like 18 and 19 or 20 and like could go all around for like a while, like 3 to 6 months or whatever, which would have been cool. Would have loved to have done that.
But I think I would have liked to seen the band get fucking signed so we could go on tour and not have to work. That's what I hoped would have happened.
Yeah.
We did actually have. It was. I guess it's kind of good that we didn't end up signing to Drive Through, because they kind of became a shit label after that.
I went to MCA
for a while. Did they?
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently we had something that got to that label.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a meet? Someone talked to them. It was you or Derek. I think.
Rachel or something. Yeah, I think. Or maybe Derek. Yeah.
But I mean that was I think as close as we got as far as interest and labels, because at that point we would have needed, the next step would have been management, booking agent, and a label with support.
And we were horrible with all that stuff.
Yeah. And that was like it was still, the internet was still a baby then, and it's not like it is now.
Did you guys ever
remember Book Your Own Fucking Life? That was still
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how every band went on tour. They would just
back then, yes.
Yeah. Now it's called Facebook. yeah. Just tweet someone, put a show on for me. Okay. Yeah, and hashtag it with this. Was there a label that you really wanted to be on?
I think Jade Tree.
Jade Tree would have been.
But they don't let anybody in unless you know somebody.
Fucking. So that's a funny story. Were you guys at the Lifetime reunion show when they were playing NASCAR?
Which one?
The one on day 2.
I was actually at the one in 2007.
2007. It was the first 2 days I think were in Philly, and then Sunday was at Stone Pony.
I think I was at the one at Sunday in Stone Pony.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I talked, because you were there with Derek, right?
No. Yes.
So then you and I.
Chris Pinto too. From Remember Your Mama Love Us.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. I remember
it was me and Chris Pinto, and Chris and Derek were in the back seat, and I was driving, and my girlfriend Amanda was in the front seat. I got pulled over on the way home from that show because I was driving a 55 and a 25.
In Asbury?
Only because I was pissed off because no one in the car could tell me how to get back to 195, and I was so pissed off that I drove like a maniac and got pulled over for it. I passed my DUI though, so it's all right.
Yeah, I've had one of those tests
what's your
before.
question though? You had an actual question.
So I'm there. So we're at the show. We definitely had to talk, because I mean, fucking everyone was there. Like, Take It Back Sunday was there. Thursday was there.
Really?
Oh yeah, I remember being in the crowd when Truth About Lars came on, and I turned to my left, and fucking the guitar player from Thursday, I grabbed him by his shirt and started shaking him, and I was like screaming the lyrics to him, because that song is probably the only song I know the actual lyrics to for any of the Lifetime songs, because I can't ever figure out. I remember the show was so funny because people were singing the words, and I'm like, none of you know what he's saying. No one knows what what he's singing. But so it's the end of the show, and the lights come up, and I'm talking to Derek, and he goes, "Oh, hold on, I know that guy. That's blah blah blah." I go, "No, I don't think that's." I know. I'm like, I think that's the owner of Jade Tree, because I read some article. It was an AP. It was the two owners, and he looked familiar. I was like, "No, I think that's not him." So he's, "No, it's Tim or something." So I watch from a distance. He rolls up to him, and the guy gives him this look of like, "Who the fuck are you, and why the fuck are you talking to me?" And he comes back over. He's like, "Yeah, that wasn't him." I'm like, "I know, dude. I told you that's the guy from fucking Jade Tree." Yeah, that dude was just not having it.
Love it.
What was the drunkest you guys ever played live?
Oh, jeez. All of us as a band collectively, or just in? I mean,
individually. It could be individually.
I remember one time specifically, and you know what? There's actually a picture of it. I'm looking at the CD right now. I think there's a picture from the show, and I remember because when I drink, if I drink too much, yes, it's on the 1, 2, 3. It's the 4th page on the left-hand side. It's a North Jersey Hall show. Humble Beginnings is there, and they're actually in the photo. If I drink too much, I lose all motor skills in my hands and feet. So I turn into a big pile of shit on the drums when I'm drunk. And I remember specifically being pretty loaded because bands kept taking longer to get off, and we kept drinking in the band because we had extra time, and that was a no-no, and I shouldn't have done that. But I remember that show specifically. I remember not being able to pull off any of my fills, and I remember fucking Del Vecchio staring at me the entire time, just like he always did. And I'm like, you fucker, I hate you. Don't look at me. But I remember that time once. The rest of the guys, I don't know.
Which picture?
It's this one. You may or may not
Who's
remember
asking about
this.
the picture? All right.
No, I said
Tell them about the picture, Harry. Sorry.
That show right there. And it's backwards, by the way. You notice how I'm playing the wrong way?
You know where that was? It's off
North Jersey.
It was off Route 17. No, it wasn't Wayne.
You sure?
Yeah, it was.
The North Bergen girls were there.
Yeah.
There's like 4 of them.
Teaneck?
Let's get into geography while we're at it.
Yeah, let's talk about Jersey.
Teaneck.
Teaneck. It was close to Teaneck, but it was off of 17.
Because the Bergen girls were there.
Yeah.
There was Allendale, there was Garfield, there was Teaneck.
I think it might have been.
Allendale
Garfield
was huge.
All right.
Yeah.
This is like a church or something. Like
it was a really big room with a wood floor. And
that's Allendale. That was Allendale. There was
okay.
stairs.
Maybe.
There were stairs getting up to the entrance.
I think so.
I don't know.
Well, obviously you didn't know. You're fucking hammered.
No, can't help you. Don't remember.
I remember a couple of shows where Newman was hammered because you would be jumping like completely off time.
Yes, yeah, and playing even worse all the time. Probably make my fingers blistered up from playing.
Yeah, man, because you did like the Matt Riddle style. You were full fingers playing. You never used a pick.
You used a pick back then?
No.
Sometimes.
You did
Not
it
really.
the later part of.
I was tired of my hands getting all bloody from fucking that shitty bass.
Did you guys ever fight?
Just verbal fights on tour a couple times.
Yeah, like not like fist fights.
A little bit of
but
frustration, yeah.
Yeah.
It was mostly Derek being a bitch. Like, no, really. I mean, he used to get angry when we didn't load the van right. He's like, it goes in a certain way.
We didn't Tetris it right.
Yeah. That was pretty much
that was it. I mean,
otherwise we got along like family.
Yeah, you guys never seemed to be any drama at all.
Yeah, the only thing that was just because of the being packed tightly into a van with no air conditioning for a while. I guess we kind of get on each other's nerves a little bit, and with there's just an awful van.
Yeah,
because you guys
not showering for days.
Oh,
yeah. And how many people were like between the three of you, and then like merch or roadies or anything? Who'd you guys take?
The first tour we had Brian
King, and then the second one was Mike from Shower with Goats.
Fiverr. Oh, Shower. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
he used to be the bass player for Shower with Goats.
Oh yeah, he was a nice guy.
We had a roadie each time we went out.
Yeah.
So it was 4 of us. There was 3 of us and one other.
Yeah, man, those vans would stink so bad.
God, it's horrible.
It was the socks too. It was the sweaty socks that would be the worst. And you get Febreze
and farts and just spilled beer or
stale fucking food all over the place. Oh my god, I can smell it right now. It's so gross. Why'd the band stop?
I'm gonna defer to Chris on that one.
I don't know. I kind of moved to like New Brunswick. We're getting further. We kind of grew further apart, and I don't know if it was girlfriends or anything like that got in the way. Possibly
it was.
Yeah, it was that. All right.
And I mean, from my perspective, I always wanted to keep I remember we had a conversation about this. I'm like, I want to keep the band together. So if you guys, I was just into playing.
Yeah.
But I think Derek and Chris. I'm not blaming it on the 2 of them, but between the 3 of us,
nobody ever spoke.
People started to grow apart. No one really wanted to say what they really meant, and girlfriends get important sometimes. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, they do that. Are you still with? Are all parties still with the girlfriends?
Nope,
not the originals. No.
The ones that broke
Chris
it up.
Was a happily married man last year.
Wait, what?
Chris is a happily married man last year.
Oh, that's right, man. Late congratulations.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. Do you guys have any favorite bands from back then?
From back then?
Yeah.
Lifetime.
Lifetime, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Doc Hopper was always a great one. Felix Frump.
You mean from the scene, or was this what we liked back then?
From the scene.
Oh,
Definitely.
I always liked Stick Figure Suicide and Mohawk Barbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, I was in Stick Figure for 2 years actually after the Boxcar.
Were you
I
really?
remember that?
No.
Yeah. I was on the one record they did, Mission.
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, I played from 2000 to 2002. I played with them. We did a bunch of shows around North Jersey and stuff.
Holy shit.
Recorded the record, and then after that, there was kind of a whole lot of nothing. But I remember liking Mohawk Barbie was probably my favorite band to see playing out of anywhere, at north and south and wherever we'd go in Jersey. I always liked them.
Yeah. Was it Chucker or Trucker? Tucker.
Tucker. No, it was Trucker.
Trucker and Stein.
Trucker. Yeah,
Trucker,
Stein.
Stein and Sean was the drummer.
That's right.
Last time I saw him, he builds cabinets for a living now.
Cool.
Is that what Stein does?
No, not Stein. The drummer Sean. But this was, oh crap! They did a reunion before TC bought
the 449 room.
Yeah, it was 449 room. We actually played they did it. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. It was not a reunion, but for some reason, Sean was there. Sean, the ex-drummer, the old drummer from Mohawk Barbie, was at this show. You know who played the show? Was Mike. Remember the shirtless shredder guy from the Dave Devlin band? The guitar player? Yeah. I saw him there too. I saw him. This means nothing to you.
Yeah. I have no idea who this shirtless Mike guy is.
Complete off. I'm remembering shit from that night. It's fucking creepy how long this has been. But yeah. So that's the last time I saw Sean. He was building cabinets. That was 10 years ago.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, Stein took over Hamilton Street. I believe he didn't own it. He ran the audio or the sound there.
Yeah.
Hamilton Street, what?
It was where
Cafe.
What was the?
Wait, where is that?
It was in Boundbrook. It used to be called.
The Paramount
Palace.
Fuck.
Palace.
Yes.
No, that wasn't the Palace. The Palace was totally different. The Palace was like that huge staircase that went up. Obviously went up.
But downstairs was the other place, right? Hamilton Street Cafe.
No, Hamilton Street was that was one level, I thought.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, unless I'm totally fucking this up. Someone's probably gonna correct that, but I didn't think it was the same place.
Yeah. Okay.
That was kind of that was like a 2000s.
Yes.
Like newer club or whatever to play at.
Last time I saw Stein, it was around Trenton, and he was doing the IPOs.
Oh yeah.
It was about 10 years ago. I haven't seen him since then.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I reached out to him to do an interview, and he's like, "Nah, I'm just not down with it." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I don't. I don't understand why people keep saying no. It's just this is like always so much fun, and everyone's like, "I don't know, man. I don't want to talk about it." I'm like, "All right."
No, it's not fun because they don't want to talk with themselves. You should insist on at least 2 band members being there. It'll be a lot more fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Then it takes like a fucking month.
Even less people, right?
It takes a month to get the 2 of you on a fucking call.
I know. Like, yeah, we can't do it tonight. Sorry, man. Can we do it?
Can we do it at 10 p.m. on a Tuesday? I'm like, fuck no. I'm not doing that shit.
We didn't hear from you for a while. We're like, oh shit, maybe you said fuck it.
Yeah, I guess we pissed him off. He gave us one chance and that was it.
Yeah. No, man. No, I was like, this is the one I was like, I'm making this fucking happen. What reunion show would you guys want to see from bands that were in the scene?
Oh, boy.
I already saw a Lifetime reunion show.
Yeah,
so,
really.
And
Jawbreaker.
Souls still play.
Yeah.
Job. Well, he means actually seeing bands.
Did you Brennan? Did you go to? I mean, it seems like you were really more into the bands that were like signed and touring. Did you besides like Mohawk Barbie and stuff? Did you like to going to see local shows?
No, you mean like DIY basement shows? Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, no, not really at all.
Yeah.
I mean, not until I would go play them, basically.
Yeah.
And like I would go to see shows after being in the scene and like learning, knowing some people and seeing some bands, if, Mohawk Barbie was playing a show in New Brunswick and I was free, I would go, that kind of thing. But growing up, I didn't really grow up in New Jersey either. I grew up in central Pennsylvania where there was fucking nothing but cows and cornfields.
Yeah.
So I didn't have that option until by the time I was like when I was 13, I was going, but to shows in Philly. But that's because I was visiting my brother and I was around or something like that. But
well, you guys were also like 24, right? Around that time when you were.
Yeah, I was 25 when I joined Boxcar, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 23.
I think there's a different dynamic too, because the majority of people going to shows were anywhere from 14 to 19, and then because you guys were like, fuck, dude, we can go to a bar. We don't have to go and do this shit.
Yeah. Well, it was always fun to play shows where there was a bar because we could go. We felt a little bit normal there.
Yeah.
Because like when you're 25, like you're not supposed to be talking to 18-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls. Like I need something. I have to go drink somewhere because I can't talk to you.
Wow, I never thought about that. That's a good point. Even though I think a lot of people there were some guys at the scene that were like their late 20s, early 30s. They were talking to 18-year-old girls.
Yeah, there were. We don't have to mention it anymore.
Yeah. They're like, this is like shooting fish in a barrel. Oh, you have a car? Oh, you could buy me beer and cigarettes? Great. Do you feel like you've kept up with your punk rock ethics to this day?
I'm still playing in bands and doing shows.
Same here.
Okay.
If
Do you feel like
I get to yes?
Do you feel like that in the work life though? Do you feel like that in the work life, that the career you chose, do you feel that kind of goes hand to hand with that punk rock lifestyle?
I didn't choose what I do, but it's not like I'm doing what I do on purpose, but I don't mind it. And I guess it kind of goes with it only because for my job, I basically make my own schedule and I go and do what I need to do when I need to do it. So I'm not micromanaged. So I kind of am DIY in that respect where like I manage myself in a way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So in that aspect of my job, I guess it is. But besides that, I still pay taxes and, that ain't too punk rock.
I'm sure the Ramones pay taxes as well, and so did Lifetime, or so does Lifetime.
Well, at least 3/4 of them are dead, so they're not.
I should just end it right there.
Well, no, those are the ones that won. The only one that's alive is Marky, the drummer, and he was at the punk rock flea market on Sunday.
That's right.
Yeah, he was signing autographs.
It's good to see that maybe there's a different version of it out there now of the DIY ethic or just the punk rock ethic and stuff. But like it's good also to go see bands like Bad Religion. Like nowadays, it's really good. Or Social Distortion. It's good to see those guys are still around. Or Descendants. It's like holy shit, all these amazing bands are still touring and doing their thing. And we need more bands that are out there that want to do it like that too, if they can.
Yeah, 100%. I saw Bad Religion a couple of years ago in Austin on Easter, and
nice.
The bass player came out in a bunny suit, and he played the entire show, and it was incredible. It was so fucking good. I was like,
those things are hot too.
Yeah, dude. I was like, he's sweating his fucking balls off up there.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. Going against going against Jesus.
You know who did that? Is that the Promise Ring? Is that a band? That's a band.
Yeah.
I saw them open for. Remember Just to Brazil?
Yeah.
Blake's other band after Jawbreaker.
Oh yeah.
I saw Just to Brazil play at the Trocadero in the late '90s. It must have been '98, and Promise Ring opened up. I think it might have been around Halloween. The entire band played in full-on furry costumes. The entire show. The drummer, the bass player, the singer, whoever. Like, I'm not a big Promise Ring fan, but they played their entire set in like giant animal costumes. I don't know how they did it.
See, like that to me, I guess that makes sense. For a second there, I thought you said that Jets Brazil did that. I'm like, that doesn't match what I felt there.
No,
that's why I was like, I thought you said that too.
It was the Promise Ring opened up and they did that.
Right.
Yeah, because Promise Ring had that fun kind of style to them, like quirkiness. Mm-hmm. Even though their songs, I wonder if I listened to the records now, I would actually like them, because I fucking hated them. I remember I got that Delaware record, and it started off like Delaware, and I was like, oh, this song's poppy. And then 3 minutes later, he's singing the same thing. I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. It's like, what the fuck are you singing right now? But yeah, I just didn't. But maybe I'll listen to it now. Like I listened to the Braid record, and I think it's fucking fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, great. I'll just kind of I'll pause right there for that. Just have you guys think about that.
I thought you said grade. Never mind.
Braid or raid, like the
grade.
Oh,
G-R-A-D.
grade.
Remember that?
Yeah, I had a grade sweatshirt for many years, and I liked their record when he stopped screaming and he actually started singing. But then they went in this pop direction. Did you ever notice that? Like that's video.
I don't know.
I think they're the ones that had the live version of the Van Halen cover Panama. That was them, right?
I have no idea.
I think it was them, and that was fucking phenomenal. Because I'm a huge Van Halen fan, so I don't care.
You reminded me. You just for some reason something just reminded me of those bands from like just over the border in upstate New York, Orange County guys, like Lounge, 99 Cents, and
99 Mephiskapheles from Florida though.
Mephiskapheles
from
wow.
Brooklyn, I thought.
Oh, were they? Were they north?
They're
We played with them in Florida on our first tour.
Mephiskapheles?
Yeah, I had their shirt and everything. It was fucking awesome shirt, pentagram shirt.
Yeah.
Maybe we played with them.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh boy! Wow.
Yeah. Let's play with some fucking awesome bands, man.
I know, dude. The scene was awesome back then because no one knew what the fuck we were doing.
I think I remember talking to Newman about the Donuts and Glory because you guys had a sticker, and on one, like I think it was a sticker in your case or the van or something. I'm like, oh, I love that band. You're like, yeah, we played with them. I was like, holy fuck!
We were just like blown away. We were like, holy shit, this is that's amazing. Because, sometimes you have random shows and it's like on tour and it's like I don't know how these bands are or whatever, like, or we might be off that night or something and it's like we play like shit and we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I remember one time we actually got to play, what's the place in Gainesville, the popular place in Gainesville, Hot Water Music.
Yeah, their live record was there.
No, well,
where they like got back together.
The place to play. It was the place. And
I know what you're talking about.
We had a show there on tour, and we had the shittiest fucking set in the entire world. It was a fucking it was a shit show. Like one mic wasn't working. Derek and Newman were singing in the same. They were doing backups, but they're singing to each other. You can fall. You all right? It's not gonna fuck up his.
I can't hear it.
You still with us?
Yeah.
All right. No, yeah, it was such a bad fucking show, and that's when what was the name of the band that we were playing with?
Chef El Grupo de Rock.
No, but there was another band that was big and they were signed, and there was some kind of buzz about Boxcar or something, and they were supposed to check us out at the show because we might have gotten a show with them. I think they were on tour. They were playing with it was a bigger band. I forget what they were, but so we had this shit show at this really big this popular place in Gainesville.
Hardback Cafe.
Yes, the Hardback.
Yes,
That's exactly that really fucking hot Asian bar.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think it was a hot bar. I didn't realize the hot Asian bartender
going
on.
There's a really cute bartender working that night that me and Chris kept obsessing about. But, no, so we play like crap. And like
this is what broke up the band.
It's horrible. We're all smiling. I'm pissed off. We're throwing shit in the van and everything. And then Derek tells us later that he went to the bathroom and he was in the stall and there was 2 urinals. So the 2 guys from the band that I was talking about earlier that were supposed to check us out and see if we were going to get a show with them, the 2 of those guys are pissing. They walk in after Derek's already in the stall. They don't know he's in there. And this is the story that Derek relayed to me and Newman. It was like, yeah, so the guys from whatever, I was in the bathroom. These guys from whatever came in and they were like, so how about Boxcar? And the other guy goes, and that was it. Like, that was it. It was like, yep, suck button, bad band. Everyone thinks we suck from then on. It was amazing. Like, so we didn't get any shows out of that show. But it's like, yeah, we're playing the Hardback, and we have the worst fucking set of the whole tour.
And that's how it goes, man. You play like the place you want to. It's like going to the Fireside in Chicago and then fucking it up in front of 300 kids that are just there every night because they just love punk rock that much. You're like, we are nothing. We are shit. All right, I got 2 more questions, and then I will let you guys go back to your Friday evening.
Right.
What's your favorite Boxcar song?
I think it's the song that ruined it. The Complete Guide. That's my favorite.
I'm still trying to think. Rubberneck.
Which one's that?
I still think Rubberneck's the best one. It's off the 7-inch. He's gonna pull it up right now.
I'm playing it right now in my headset.
Yeah, we got it.
Oh my god. Okay.
I know things will never. That song.
Why'd you like it?
Me? I just thought it was a kick-ass punk rock song. It's one of the better. it made me excited to play it. It's just there's something about it that made me really happy. I don't know.
It made you hit your drums really lightly.
Yeah.
As Steve would say.
Yeah, it made me tap.
Last question: would you guys ever play a reunion show?
We tried to. We did play a couple.
We did a bunch of them actually.
I tried to get you guys to play that 2010 show with Humble.
I remember that.
Yes. I was the deciding factor on that.
You were the one who said no.
And broke, and I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. I remember I sent you a big email about that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I was the only one that was saying no, and you personally reached out to me through email and said, Brendan, would you please do this? And I had to send you a giant paragraph about why I couldn't.
Yeah, I read that. And I was like, man, that sucks, man. I'm like, I hope you're okay.
I'm okay now. I'm fine now.
Oh, that's awesome.
But that was a really, really shit time in my life, and I haven't been that low, I think, since.
Good.
But interestingly enough, I remember because you didn't really seem to care that much about doing the show, Chris, but I was still friends with Derek at the time, and Derek was like, dude, we have to do this. Dude, you got to do this. Come on, man, do it. I'm like, no. We've done it. We've done it four of these already. No one gave a shit before. We're not going to sound good. You're not going to learn the shit. Like, no, I'm not going to. I remember I'm rehashing all this in my head now. But Derek did actually end up going to, it was at Maxwell's, right?
Yeah, he went because he stayed over my place.
Yeah, so and I remember after he went, and I would see him after that, and he was like, dude, you would have felt so cool if we would have played. It was like, everyone loves us, man. We should have fucking played. It would have been so cool. I was like, yeah, I know, Derek, but still, no, I'm not into it. But he had a great time. He said it was fucking awesome.
Oh, he had a blast. We got hammered that night. Oh, yeah.
Wait, what happened?
We got hammered.
Of course. Back then, that's all he did.
I actually have a really fucking funny Derek story, but I cannot tell it over. I cannot put it out there without it. But I tell it all the time to people. I'll tell it to you after I stop recording, but I won't do that to him. He'd probably laugh, but it was definitely. I was like, wow, this is interesting. But cool, man. Well.
He did say that show went really well, though.
It was amazing, man. It's online. It's on YouTube. I was actually watching the Humble version of it before, and they were so fucking good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. We sold the place out, I think, in a couple weeks, and there was like 300.
Wow. That's a tight show at Maxwell's.
It might have been like over 2, but I mean Heath Miller, he put it on for us, so he would definitely know. He'd probably still know the fucking head count, but.
Wow.
It was just a packed house, and we got up and like had Humble. So this is the funny thing. Humble, they headlines, and the place just went nuts. And if you watch the video, they start off with the first song. I think they start off with like Activate or something. And,
oh, cool.
And the place just goes fucking off. And you just it's like you feel that like it brought you back to a fucking hall and standing there and just going nuts. And they I forget where I was going with that, but it was epic. Oh yeah, then the next day we played at the Court Tavern. I told the story a bunch of times, but like literally there was like 30 people there, and it was just it was just like letting the air out of the fucking balloon. You're like, oh my god, this is what it's like still.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks. We should have just kept it at one show, and that was it. But yeah, man, I mean, people like I said, when I started doing the podcast, everyone's like, man, you gotta get Boxcar, and then you get Boxcar. I'm like, I'm definitely getting fucking Boxcar in there. Like, how would I not? So
I mean, I will say I'm really humbled. No pun, but I am humbled, and I'm still really surprised, and I'm also very grateful that like people gave a shit about us, people liked us, and people supported us. Not that I'm a self-deprecating prick that much, but like I really like, not that we weren't a good band, but like I still am surprised that people remember and people still care, and I think it's fucking awesome, especially you, Doyle, for doing this.
Yeah, thanks.
I think it's fucking awesome.
Calling us or contacting us.
Absolutely, man. No, I mean, you guys were. I mean, for me, it's just a selfish reason to talk to, old friends. But there's also this. There's that part of it, but there's also this. The people that I bring on, like they're the ones that, that I felt were such a big part of it, and also for me, like a lot of the bands that I bring on, I'm huge fans of them. When you guys would show up, I was like, oh yeah, like because like we show up to shows, and then their bands would play, and we wouldn't stay in there and watch them because we're like, I'm not really into this band. But like you guys would be up there like fucking watching it, and just like we'd be fucking with each other from the crowd. It's like that wall was broken down, where it wasn't like us versus them. It wasn't like the band versus the crowd. It's like we would break that down and be like, good fucking, way to hit that fucking note there. And you'd be like, fuck you.
Just ball busting. I loved it. It was great, man.
Yeah, man. It was such a good time. But any final thoughts before we wrap this up and end this? Any words of wisdom? Anything at all, for God's sake, say something.
We're ready on the spot as far as the call now.
I'm just still happy that there's still a DIY scene. I mean, I think there always will be.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that, I mean, as far as like punk has been so commercialized, and I was actually talking to my friends about this on Sunday at the Punk Rock Flea Market in Trenton. We were talking about how it was me, Lorenzo, and Allison, but it doesn't matter. But we're talking about how like the Gen Xers, like the people our age, like in their 40s, are like, we watched it become non-legit. Like we were around enough to know, like it was before, we remember what life was like before Nirvana.
Yeah.
And we remember what it was like before the internet. And we watched punk become commercialized, like through bands and through, all kinds of marketing and bullshit. And we've watched it turn into like what it is today, which is not punk. But so in a way you could say punk is dead, but at the same time, I'd also like to say that I don't think it is, because DIY, there's always going to be a kid in a basement or a garage writing songs and playing stuff and not giving a fuck. And I think that to me is still alive and well and won't ever go away. So I'm kind of happy about that. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just glad people are still doing it. That's all. And I hope they continue to do it.
Yeah,